Jake's job interview, fail or not. It all started on a sleepy Monday morning. Jake Peterson, a 27-year-old guy with a deep love for iced coffee and funny cat videos, was lying on his couch in his thinking position, which was basically horizontal, when his phone suddenly rang. "Hello, is this Jake Peterson?" A woman's voice asked, professional but friendly. "Yes, speaking," Jake answered, quickly sitting up and wiping cookie crumbs off his shirt. "This is Olivia from Green Core Solutions. We reviewed your job application and we'd like to invite you for an interview this Wednesday at 10 a.m. Jake paused for half a second. "Oh, yes, that sounds great. Thank you." His voice was steady, but inside his brain was already on fire. 2 days? For a real interview? He didn't even know where his resume was. And what exactly did Green Core Solutions do again? He ran to his laptop and began typing furiously. How to survive a job interview. Top 10 interview questions. How to look confident when you're actually panicking. And finally, what is marketing? Jake made a list, then another list, then a to-do list for the first two lists. He practiced in front of a mirror. Tell me about yourself. I'm a creative, motivated individual who's passionate about marketing and bringing ideas to life. A little too dramatic? Maybe. But dramatic was better than clueless. On Tuesday, he watched 3 hours of interview tips on YouTube. One video said, "Be authentic." Another said, "Don't be too honest." A third just said, "Smile like you're not dying inside." Jake wasn't sure what to believe anymore, but he was committed. He even practiced shaking hands with his cat, Muffin. Muffin did not appreciate that. Finally, Wednesday arrived. Jake got up early, shaved, ironed his shirt, mostly, and squeezed into his only suit, which felt tighter than last year's holiday dinner. He grabbed his folder with his resume and certificates, or tried to. Muffin had thrown up on it. Again, direct hit. Panic. Jake cleaned up the mess, found another folder, printed new copies, and ran out the door with half a banana in his mouth. At the office, the receptionist gave him a warm smile. "Mr. Peterson, they're ready for you." Jake followed her into a meeting room where 3 people were seated. Olivia, a man in a dark suit with a serious expression, and a young guy tapping away on his laptop. Jake took a seat and smiled politely. Olivia started. "So, Jake, tell us about yourself." Jake gave his practiced line. "I'm a creative, motivated individual who's passionate about marketing and bringing ideas to life." Then his brain added, "And I also really enjoy teamwork. And pizza." Pizza? Why did he say pizza? He wasn't applying to a pizzeria. They moved on. "What would you say is your greatest strength?" asked the man in the suit. Jake straightened up. "I'd say time management. I always meet my deadlines and stay organized." Was that true? Mostly. Sort of, if you didn't count laundry. "And your biggest weakness?" Jake panicked. He had planned to say something smart like, "I care too much." Instead, he blurted, "Pizza." Again. Olivia raised an eyebrow. Jake gave a nervous smile. "It's kind of a theme today, huh?" Then came the unexpected. "If you were an animal, what would you be?" Jake paused. "A squirrel, because I'm quick, focused, and I collect things, like ideas. And snacks." Dead silence. The man in the suit scribbled something on his notepad. Probably squirrel equals weird. Trying to recover, Jake took initiative. "Can I ask, what's the company culture like?" The younger guy finally looked up from his laptop. "We value creativity, collaboration, and people who bring positive energy," he said. Jake nodded. That's great to hear. I believe a fun team is a productive team. Except on Mondays. Nothing works on Mondays. That got a small chuckle. Encouraging. Then Olivia said, one last thing. Imagine you're creating a marketing campaign for young people. What would it look like? Jake leaned in, confident. Short-form videos, TikTok, humor. Real people using your product in everyday life. Something relatable, funny, and authentic. Maybe even a meme or two. Olivia smiled. The young guy typed faster. The man in the suit actually nodded. Jake stood to leave and immediately realized he had forgotten his folder. He spun around, walked straight into the glass door, and bounced back like a cartoon. He re-entered, rubbing his forehead. I forgot this. Also, bless you, he said to the man who had just sneezed. No one had sneezed. Jake walked out quickly. 2 days later, his inbox lit up. Second interview invitation. Green Core Solutions. He couldn't believe it. He was still in the running. The second interview was more intense. A woman from the digital marketing team asked, "What are your thoughts on AI and marketing?" Jake replied confidently, "I think AI is amazing for analyzing trends and data, but real creativity, that emotional spark, still needs a human touch." They nodded. Then Jake stood up to shake hands and hit his head on a hanging lamp. Again. Silence. Jake smiled. I just wanted to leave a lasting impression. This time the room burst into laughter. They gave him one final challenge. Create a campaign for an eco-friendly product. Jake smiled. How about a hashtag campaign? Something like hashtag green is the new cool. Encourage people to share simple eco habits. Reusable bags, biking, eating less meat. Make saving the planet feel fun, not heavy. They clapped. A few days later, Olivia called him. Jake, we'd like to offer you the job. He screamed. Quietly. Muffin hissed. Jake high-fived the cat and did a dance that could only be described as nervously confident. On his first day, he brought donuts. People whispered, "That's the guy who hit his head but saved the planet." Later, the creative director told him, "You weren't the smoothest candidate, but you were honest and real. That's what we want." Jake smiled. And this time, he didn't mention pizza. Turns out, well, you don't need to be perfect to get the job. Just prepared. And maybe a little funny. If Jake can do it, so can you. Now go crush that interview. Vocabulary time. Ready to learn some fun and useful English expressions from Jake's job interview story? Let's dive in. Wipe off to clean a surface by rubbing it. Review to look at something again to evaluate or prepare. Steady, firm, and not changing suddenly furiously with great energy or speed. Confident, sure of yourself and your abilities. Passionate, having strong feelings or beliefs. Clueless, not knowing anything, totally unaware. Authentic, real, genuine, true. Commit, to decide seriously to do something. Appreciate, to recognize and value something. Squeeze into, to force yourself into a tight space or clothing. Grab, to take quickly and roughly. Throw up, to vomit. Tap away, to type quickly and repeatedly. Move on, to go to the next thing. Strength, a strong skill or quality. Straighten up, to sit or stand with good posture. Humor, the quality of being funny. Blurt, to say something suddenly without thinking. Squirrel, a small animal, often used to mean someone quick or who collects things. Scribble, to write messily and quickly. Initiative, the ability to start things without being told. Collaboration, working together with others to achieve something. Productive, getting a lot done effectively. Chuckle, to laugh quietly. Encourage, to support or give hope. Lean in, to move forward, often to show interest. Relatable, easy to understand or connect with. Spin around, to turn quickly in place. Bounce back, to recover from a difficulty sneeze. To suddenly blow air from your nose and mouth. Lit up, became bright or excited. Intense, very strong or extreme. Spark, a small idea or feeling that starts something. Burst into, to suddenly begin. Scream, to make a loud, high sound. Turns out, results in a surprising or unexpected way. Go crush it, to do something very successfully. That's it for today's vocabulary. Don't just memorize, use these in your own stories too. And remember, you don't need to be perfect, just real. Well done for sticking till the end. If you learned something new, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the good vibes. See you in the next one.